As you can probably tell, there's a lot more behind what makes a blockchain work besides the blockchain. Getting accurate information onto the blockchain is the goal of the entire system, but it's helpful to understand it as a single component of this larger system. In this video, we'll go over what a blockchain is, how it's created, and some ways it has been made to ensure a secure and accurate data set. A blockchain is a shared digital ledger that contains the entire history of transactions made on the network. It's an accumulation of linked blocks joined together by hash values that have been created over time. All information on a blockchain is permanent and can't be changed. This means that the data is immutable. When using a blockchain, you have a permanent, unchanging history of information, which is useful for many different applications. To construct a blockchain, you need two main things: blocks and hash values. As we've seen, every block contains its own hash plus the hash of the previous block. These hash values chain the blocks together in order from the most recent block made all the way to the first block ever created. The fact that these blocks are connected by hash values gives them some pretty interesting qualities. First, we know that if we change the data on a block, that it will create a new hash value for that block. That will invalidate the block and we'll know it's been changed. But what happens when we look at that block as part of a chain? Well, since the hash for the block changes, it also changes the hash for this block that exists on the next block. This changes the data in that block, changing the hash value, and now this gets invalidated too. This change of hash values runs all the way down the set of blocks, effectively breaking the entire chain. You can identify any block on the chain by where it is located using its block number. The block number is just the number for where on the chain that block falls. The third block will have a block number 3, the second, number 2, and the first block will be called block number 1. The first block on the chain also goes by another name. It's known as the genesis block. And when it comes to the blockchain and what it actually is, that's really it. The system surrounding the development, updates, and ideas about how to best support the chain is where it can get more complicated. As we continue discussing these topics about the blockchain, keep in mind that the blockchain itself is just a single component within all of this where the transaction history is eventually stored.